Kontrol L ya, Kak?
Ya.
Good evening, everyone. I hope you are doing well today. Thank you for joining us in tonight's online talk show with Saint Angela Choir. The song that you heard before is Angelus, composed by Josu Elberdin. He conducted Saint Angela Choir December last year. Everyone, we know these past few months has been a difficult time for all of us. We cannot gather, we cannot practice together, but we cannot stop to sing, to make music together. Our music life will never stop despite of this crisis. That's why Saint Angela Choir is trying to get used to the virtual world, of course, beside the online rehearsal and do the virtual choir so that we can keep learning. Our mission is to spread the beauty of music and hopefully we can learn new things during this time. This new part of our new normal, now we present Saint Angela Choir Talk with Josu Elberdin. Hi, Josu.
Hi, good afternoon, good evening for all of you.
Okay, my colleague Nicholas Rio. Hi, Rio.
Hi.
Uh, will direct this Saint Angela Choir Talk. Let me introduce him. He is a talented pianist and also composer. As a composer, he composes many songs, of course, for Saint Angela Choir. And he won first prize for the Satya Dharma Gita Composition Competition 2019 Sacred category. Well, please Rio to direct Saint Angela Choir Talk. The time is yours now.
Okay, thank you, Kakoni. First, I will speak a little bit in bahasa ya, Josu. Oke, buat semua yang menonton, selamat datang pada SACTalk yang pertama. Eh, Seperti yang kita semua ketahui, kita sekarang akan melakukan talk dengan Josu Elberdin, seorang komposer yang sangat terkenal dari Spanyol. Eh, Jika misalnya nanti dari para pemirsa sekalian ada yang mau untuk bertanya-tanya kepada Josu, boleh banget silahkan bertanya pada kolom komentar yang kita punya di YouTube. Ya, silahkan bertanya pada kolom komentar yang kita punya di YouTube live ini, dan nanti saya akan menyampaikan kepada Josu. Jangan takut kalau nggak terlalu lancar bahasa Inggrisnya. Nanti saya akan bantu untuk terjemahkan dari Indonesia ke Inggris. Jadi kalian boleh bertanya baik dalam bahasa Indonesia maupun dalam bahasa Inggris. Begitu ya. Okay, so hello Josu, let us start this talk show then ya.
Okay.
Okay, so first of all, let me introduce the famous Josu Elberdin. Okay, so what you see in your screen now is the biography of Josu Elberdin. He was born in 1976 in Pasaya, Gipuzkoa, Spain. He began his musical studies at the Conservatory of Pasaya, Pasaya Musical, for which he received a degree as a teacher of piano and singing. He is also graduated in social education by Universidad del País Vasco in 1997. Since 2000, he works as a music teacher at the Musical School of Pasaya, where he teaches music and movement, composing techniques, score arrangement, organ and piano, and also conducting and cooperating with several choral or instrumental groups. He also works as an organist at Nuestra Senora del Carmen, the Trinserpe Church, Pasaya. Both as a choral singer and a soloist, he has frequently joined groups that have obtained awards and excellent press reviews. He is active as a clinician for both children and adult choir, conducting courses in Spain and abroad in Indonesia, France, Bulgaria, and Colombia. He acts frequently as a juror in national and international choral and composition competitions. Elberdin is most known for his compositions, of course. He has won several composing awards at the Tolosa Musical Contest and Lore Jokowi Composer Contest in Ondaroa. He has been commissioned by prestigious choirs all over the world and has set compulsory scores for international choral contests such as the Tolosaco Nazioarteco Abisbatzen Lehiaketa, Europa Cantat Junior, Symposium Choral Mundial de Argentina, Quincena Musical de San Sebastian, Musicaste, and more. His music is mainly dedicated to children choirs and has often been performed as musical stories or tales, some of which are symphonic works. Though his works are mainly choral, Elberdin has also written a large number of symphonic works, pop rock songs, and instrumental works. He has composed and recorded for Basque TV, ETV, and for artists such as Gary Coy's Media Sabal, Kepa Junqueira, and has written for well-known international choirs such as the Philippine Medical Singers and the Salt Lake Vocal Artists. So that's a very long CV, Josu. Very long
Many, many
bio.
things.
How are you? Are you good right now?
Yes, I'm very good. I want to start this afternoon. I apologizing because my English is not really as good than I want, and I want to apologize because I try to explain a good idea, but I don't know if I can get it. And I want to say at the beginning to say thanks for the opportunity that Ronnie, that you and Sant'Angela Choir gives to me to can talk together and compartmentalize the different things.
Yes, of course. So, Josu, now the time is yours. So,
Okay,
let
okay.
us begin.
Uh,
Okay.
Okay, the idea about the talk from today is that explain different ideas about the composing. From the beginning, we talk about the choral and vocal composing, not other than the different kinds of music. We can talk about instrumental music, but uh, for me, today's talk is only about vocal and choral music, and it is really important for us. For us. We use today 3 chapters for present different ideas about composing and with your questions and different possibilities. From the beginning, the first question that occurs to me that what's a composer and what's a composing process? One composer is a people who have 300 years, and his name is Bach or Beethoven, and today we have not like this, but who people can compose or what's composing process? Composers take a different note and put in a piano. It can be a composed music or not. Is a good idea, and we can discuss about this. For me, it's more simple than all of this. Compose is take pictures and different ideas, uh, uh, transform it or convert in senses and in musical lines, and try to your idea be our idea. When you compose music, from the moment when you put your idea in a paper, it's not only your idea, it's our idea. Your music is not only for you, it's for all the world. What's composing? Take these feelings, these senses, and put in a paper. For me, is the most important reason of this. And what for whom you are writing and what write what is a very important question for all of us, because you can get a harmony book for the sopranos, for the altos, for the contraltos. The height of voices are this, the harmony laws are like this, and you can try and finale or different softwares can reproduce your music. But if you are not writing something concrete for different people and for concrete people, maybe your ideas don't do as soon as good than can possible. Ronnie said at the beginning, you, Nicolas, write some pieces. You're a really fantastic composer. I read your works and are lovely. Please, please, for everybody, watch the music of Nicolas because it's really fantastic. When Nicolas, when you write music for Sant'Angela, you are complete writing for Sant'Angela, for a children's choir in one age concrete and one kind concrete of possibilities, and you are not writing only for something so ethereal, and it's more important for us that write than this. And when you are writing too, we talk about this a little bit after, but the concrete of ideas always are the way. But are in our part, in vocal and choral music part, are is one really fundamental different part, and is the importance of the text. When you are a very good flutist, you can play fantastic sonatas and trios and different things. When you are a pianist, you can play very well, and with your music, you can try to explain different and fantastic ideas. All of this is very well, but we, as singers, as conductors or composers, we have the power of the text of the word, because I play with the piano, sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
If you use, and you can say, I love you, and can be love or not love, but in the moment that you start not only teaching about this, like seeing, I love, always, and different things, the power of the text is with you, and the music idea and the text together are the most powerful things for us. I think that this is the most important part, and this is only for composers from vocal and for choral music. And with all of this, a little idea, or little can discuss idea. Today we have a contemporary music versus current music. We have many styles of music, and we can try with all of them. But if you watch music in 21st century, are doing current music or contemporary music? What kind of language are using for this? I think that the good music always is not that the music that uses mathematical forms. You can take your form and do a arithmetical form, and with this you can do music. Why not? And can be a one way to transform the music. But if you are losing the senses and the reaches of the heart, you never can get that your music arrives until the audience. You can take a paper, and with paper, something like this, and can be music. Why not? Why not? Can be interesting, but with this idea, if you can move the heart and the senses of the people, the audience, all the audience can learn about this and can enjoy with all this kind of music. For me, it's important always this kind of good music with a really important text.
Okay, thank you, Josu. That's a very deep insight about music that touch the heart. So, in relation to this, I want to ask you: do you feel it is important for the listeners to be able to deduct the ideas about your music when they listen into it? How would you make your music more transparent for the listeners?
Yes, I think when I compose music, I think always to learn. My heart is explaining about something concrete. I used before in the piano. If I'm trying to explain something about the love, how can be the love, but can be more easier like something like this. For me, the transparent ideas are the ideas that when you are hearing music, always says, I can learn about this. You are now feeling about love, about you are pity, you are harried, you're worried, in different senses of the human parts of all the world. The music is always to stay with us, and if you try with this idea, if the audience can sense this idea, can be always good way. I try always that use these pictures. When we hear the Four Seasons of Vivaldi, it's instrumental music, yes, it's true, but when Vivaldi wrote these pieces, you can see the storm on summer, you can sense the frozen on winter, and I think that is perfect because in each of them, Vivaldi is trying to take some picture and say to us, I'm not Vivaldi, really, but I for me this idea was really good, and I try to take this kind of idea and to transpose and send to all the world. The music is always transparent, and if you work hard with this, the people, the audience can sense like this. It's really important.
Okay, thank you. Josu, we already have the first question from Natalie. Okay.
Okay.
We already got the first question from Natalie. So just a reminder for the audience, you can ask us in the comment section in the YouTube live, and I will ask Josu. Don't be afraid to ask in Indonesia because I will try to translate it as best as possible to Josu, yeah. So you can ask in Indonesia or in English, both is okay. Okay, so the first question from Natalie is, where do you get the inspiration for your composition and what makes your composition unique?
Where I use this idea, I use every places, every moment. The inspiration is not something that you say today at 8 p.m. I will have a good idea and I write any music with this. Always I sometimes I have a very good idea at night, at morning, in driving a car in different places, and the good option is that every time you can have different ideas. But I say the last years always that the inspirations come to you when you are working. You can stay working in a forest, a fantasy forest, and say, "Oh, what a wonderful place!" Yes, but usually, and the last years for me is like this: when I sit and start working, the ideas comes with me. Are the best place to can have inspiration. Then are different moments. If one friend of you is if his diet, your heart is broken. In this moment, you need in some concrete moments you need to take and write this music because in sometimes you want to say with words ideas and different things, but you can't say. And the music always can sense all of yours. Now I am trying to speak in English. It will be most easier for me if I can to play piano or sing to explain all these ideas. For me, the music is always this way. But for can have this inspiration, the most important thing that you sit and practice and practice and practice, and the inspiration will be with you.
Okay, so connected to that, I think, what is your biggest challenge as a composer right now? And has it changed over the time?
Good, good, good question. I try from the beginning. When I start composing, I don't see my heart or my brain as composer. I was a pianist as you, and I was the pianist of the one beginner children's choir, and the conductor says to me, Josu, please arrange this piece for us because you play good piano and can arrange this for you. I arrange for you. No, I don't want. No, you try, please. And they were the first experience as a composer, and then it was doing more speak until now. The challenge as a composer. In the last years I wrote many different styles, many different kinds of music, with orchestras, with folklore music. I think the challenge is the concrete point of this challenge is that the music that you wrote can arrive to the audience is the most difficult part. And with other people is difficult. With children is really difficult. And the challenge for me is not a compose really big cantata for orchestra. I work like this, and it's a wonderful process. But my challenge as a composer is can see one smile in an audience faces and in a singer's faces. If they smile or they are tired of, if they learn my music, my idea, for me the challenge is done. And the second question was if this have changed with the time my music. I think in some parts yes, in some parts no. Has changed because when I start practicing composing, the ideas can be concrete, but the technique process use of writing for a voice, for a piano, for an alto, I was a singer. I start as a conductor. I start as a composer. I think the three parts are very important. But now I have not a better experience, but a many experience in three parts. And if you learn about singer part, if you learn about composing part, and if you learn about a conductor part, you can understand all the part of the process of one sheet music. And I think that today I learn better how do you need to sing better as a singer, how kind of ideas you need to write to be better as a composer, and what kind of modes you need to write to play with the piano and don't kill the composer with this because it's important this part. I think that it changes, of course, and I started 20 years ago writing music, and I'm not the same person that 20 years ago. I'm different, but when you hear Martin Lauritsen music, you say, ah, it's Martin Lauritsen. When you hear Javi Busto music, you say, ah, it's Busto, Javi Busto music. When you hear Beethoven, Mozart, Brahms music, you say, ah, the style of each composer is with you. When you hear Nicolas, you say, ah, this is Nicolas music, of course. And I think that 20 years ago, I started one way, and today, in some pieces, the people say to me, ah, he sounds like you. I think that the people say that I have a one style. I don't know if it's good style or bad style, but you can hear my music and take something concrete. And these kind of ideas were changed with the time, with the years.
Okay, so one last question for this chapter, I think. I can relate to your story about when you begin to write your music, that you begin as a pianist, yeah? You begin as a pianist.
Yes.
And I also begin as a pianist, so I can totally relate to that. So when you start writing for the choral music, what is your early passion and what influenced you the most? What kind of choral music influenced you the most when you start writing for choir?
Yes, I need to say that I was very shy when I was young, now too, but when I was really young, very shy. And I start playing at home with a very little keyboard with numbers, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 5, something like this. And then one friend gives to me a little big piano, and I start playing. I'm playing not concrete things, always playing with this. And in one moment, my father says to me, "No, you are taking and playing the radio songs, the TV songs. You will go to the conservatory to study music." Me? No, I don't want, because I was very shy. And they say, no, they first to me and say, please, you will go to the conservatory. And I start. And when I start, they say to me, yes, you can start with piano, with organ, with solfeggio, but you need to sing. Me sing? No, I hate the choirs. I hate the voice. I don't want to sing. Never, not please. No, you need. Sorry, but you need to sing in a choir. And I start singing the first experience as a bass second, and I'm not a bass, I'm a tenor. But with passing of the time, I start learning about the choral music and 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 find a very fantastic world. I started as a singer, but a few time ago we founded the children's choir, and I started as a pianist that I said before, and play different music. And I remember that in these years, in the first single years, Javi Busto, for me is like a musical daddy. He's a very good friend. He lives so close from home to 12 kilometers, and we have a very important friendship. And in these years, Javi comes to our choir not to teach his music, to teach his kind of idea of choral world of choral music. And we sing Javi's music, but we start singing Brahms, Mendelssohn, and then Lauritz and other different composers. And I opened my eyes with Javi and with different first teachers, and it was incredible for me. I love to sing all kinds of music. And as a composer, Javi has a very important part. Xavi Sarasola, other Basque composer. Here in Basque Country, we have very good composers, very fantastic composers. I'm the smallest of them, and I always learn the music using the eyes of Xavi, of Javi, of David, Uncal, Eva, of different people. But Mendelssohn music, Mozart music, choral music in some places, then Brahms music, of course, 20th century music, and ancient music. Uh, all of music is very important. But in the first moment, Javi's influence was really important for me. Not only for his music. I always say that Javi's music is really important. Javi's the big maestro, but not only for his choral work. It's for his presence, for his human work. That is different for me.
Okay, so that's it for chapter one of this talk show. We'll have a little break. I'll play you Josu music when he went to Indonesia last year with Saint Angela Choir. We sang Magnificat, and this is one of the movement Quia Respexit Humilitatem. So while we have a little break here, we will get back after this song. So wait a minute. Wait a minute. There's a little bit problem here playing the song.
For this moment, if you want, I can explain the person that we hear at the beginning
Ah, yeah.
of the talk was Angelus. Angelus was the first work that I wrote for Basilio Astule. Today is Basilio's birthday. Big kiss from here to Basilio. And in 2007, I think, I wrote this piece for Basilio. He commissioned 17 composers from all the world for a carol music. It was an incredible CD. And he asked me to write a piece. And I don't want to write a carol, and I wrote a Adventist piece with Angelus in Basque, using Basque in different possibilities, and was a really wonderful project together. And from this first project, 2 years ago, he asked to me to write a new commission, a new biggest commission, and in this case was Magnificat. The second part, if you take a Bible, is the next part of Angelus. And we take seven numbers of music, 23 minutes of music with Angelus, with Magnificat, sorry. And I wrote the first performance was for organ, and popular folk instruments, three instruments. Triquitisha is one kind of accordion. Chalaparta is one drum very special in Basque Country, and alboca is like a horn, a bull horn that have different holes, and with this you can make a Dorican mode of the scales. And I wrote this piece for this, and then the finish for the last project was with big orchestra and all of this. And I had the possibility the last December that we say in the first video to can travel to Bandung and stay with Ronnie, with Rio, and with his very fantastic choir, and was really fantastic experience. And we worked with Magnificat. Magnificat parts, music parts, are really different. In some numbers, the music is soft and like this, and in other different moments are very powerful. The numbers that we will hear now are qui specie militate and fecit potentia in brachio tuo. Only two ideas about each of pieces. In the first part, you will to hear Nicolas playing only the organ. In the original part, this is the alboca sound during the ancient moment of the song. Then they will sing at unison and different three parts. Then we have a cappella part, and then we will have a very important idea, omnes generationes. And I think in this point, the people around all the world comes together and start speaking together. It was crazy. We take in this part a little cluster, the Dorican cluster, pam 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 pam, and they start speaking about this, all the people together, and take different notes and go down, and again it starts. And the second part, the second number, fecit potentia in brachio tuo, is as in the Old Testament, the powerful grace of the God is if you don't do good things here in the world, he falls to you then when you will die. And with this power, the ideas are like this. Are like this.
Yeah. Okay, so now the video is ready. Let's hear two of Josu's work, Quia Respexit Humilitatem and Fecit Potentiam. Enjoy. Wait a minute. Okay. Okay, welcome back to SACTalk with Josu Elberdin. We have just heard two music from Josu, which is Quia Respecti to Militatem and Fecit Potentiam, and both of them are in the same big composition, Magnificat. Yeah. Okay, so before we begin to chapter 2, we received several questions from our viewers. Okay, and I think there's one that is connected with your session earlier. Okay, so there is a question from Dimitri. Josu, this is a follow-up question about challenges. Which piece do you find most challenging to write and why? And how did you overcome that specific challenge?
For me, all kind of challenging music is really important for me when a really advanced choir commissioned to me a fantastic piece. When Basilio commissioned it to me with orchestra, very great cantata or thing, is a challenge, yes. But I think that when a parish choir, a beginner choir, asks to you to write this, can be most challenging. You can try to choose one of these. Maybe many years ago, Magnificat was a great challenge for me because it was my second orchestration. I start at the beginning only for choirs, for children's choir, the first years. Then I start for mixed choirs, capella, piano and one flute, piano and one violin, but not more things. And I remember I wrote a different stories for children, and one of them was Alani, one tree short who goes around the world, and it was the first time that I wrote an orchestration. I remember really good experience. That all the instruments were written in the score in other order. Crazy. And it was my first experience writing for an orchestra. And the second time was Magnificat. And I remember that when I wrote this piece, the first idea was for organ and Basque folkloric instruments. And then I wrote this piece for Leioa Conservatory Young Orchestra. It's very good orchestra. And I think in the time I wrote for things, some winds, but something soft. And the conductor and Basilio and the conductor of the orchestra said to me, no, you need to write for a little big orchestra and write for this. and was a crazy moment. The first time that, yes, because you had this idea here. Then many years ago, the last years I wrote for Basque symphonic orchestras and for different orchestras, and it's nice now. But the first time was, but for the most challenges, it's not only this. If you can get my first composition award was with a one work who had only two voices, and no, this is a cappella. And when you take this harmony, and this, the harmony have three notes, four notes, five notes maybe, but you need to say all this harmony, all these chorus, all these things with only two voices in cappella, without nothing. The most difficult words are like this. When you want to write something so easy, it's not easy not to write, not to sing. Never. You can take like this. Big, yes. No, big, easy. It can be most easy. But if you want to say something with only few notes, if you can use three notes, better than four notes. If you can use two notes, better than four notes. This is the most a complicated challenge for this. It's not easy. It's not easy, never. If you have all the things with you, it's more easy.
I totally agree with you, Josu. I honestly have to totally agree with you. It's very, very hard to write with so many limitations. Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree with you. Okay, so I hope that answer your question. We actually still has more questions, but I think I'll ask them later after this chapter, yeah. Okay, so Josu, you can begin your next explanation about
Yes.
writing your
Okay.
music.
I want to explain a little words about different commissions. Of
Yeah.
the last years, I had the fantastic possibility to write music for many people around the world, and it's for me like a really big honor and really big dream, because I know that many people wrote music, but I'm writing music and I'm writing music for different people. It's the most important thing for me. But I think that if you never have explained about commission something, it's important to do a one way in this process. It's important and it's really important when the choirs commission something to you that you have a brain as a frozen. When Tolosa choral contest says we use this work by you to be a compulsory work in the contest. If you say no, I try to write a new piece, a new really difficult piece. No, it's not good. It's not good. Sometimes you need to know when you are writing. The first step is when you are writing, for who are you are writing. I said it before, because if Sant'Angela, Batavia, Resonant Children, Brady, Philippines National Singers, this kind of very high level choirs commission something to you, you can create some score for this level. But if the parish choir, the beginner children's choir, ask for you for a simple, it's never simple, but for simple thing or song, sorry, you need to know for who are you are writing. I had in the last years different musicians I meet that commissioned for them a new piece. I said, oh, a new piece, double choir with piano. No, and this commission was for 7 years of children's choir, double choir with piano. With no. You need to know for who I was writing every time this piece. Is true that when I'm writing piece, I write concrete for a one choir, but I'm learning and I'm thinking different choirs can sing this music, but concrete for this choir. It's like you do a new clothes you take your better clothes. You can use a M clothes and not XXL. Oh, it's bigger, yeah, but it's not for you. These clothes, it's different
Mhm.
clothes. I think it's really important to know about this. The age and the vital moment of the members of this choir, really, really important always too, because you say, we want to commission for you one piece for children's choir. Okay, 7 years old children's choir, teenagers from 16 years, mixing of them, 5 years old children's choir is not the same thing, and we can write the same piece for 7 years or for 12 or 14 years, and we can't write the same piece for a 32 year young people or 75 grandparents choir people. It's very important to know the age and the vital moment of these people, and and other ways that you need to have always in your brain that when you want something, when people say to me, write a new piece for us. Yes, but what type of work you want? No, something. I don't write music in this moment. Something for us is not something concrete for me, and I need today a concrete ideas. Quite one folk song for us, one carol for us, one Christmas or religious music, one folklore music, one children's music to dance, one these kind of things are concrete things. If you don't use like this, I don't write today in music. The objective of the work need be really, really, really clear. The age of numbers of components. You don't need the same piece for a 12, 14 choir people or for a 85, 50 big choir. You have different possibilities to write this piece. The number of voices and divises. Write something for us. No. What you have in the choir, you sing for two voices, for three voices, with divises, without divises. You have a good altos with low bubble songs. You have a good treble song. They can go high, they can go down. These kind of ideas are always really, really important. The same of music. Write something. No. What you want about love, about something religious, like this. The requirement of this music. We want a piece for can for one to enjoy with this piece, or we want a piece for go a contest, for compete with this work. Are always different, with accompaniment or without accompaniment. Are different things that always will be important if you want to commission one work, or if you want to sit and write. I invite all of you to sit and write music because it's fantastic. But please don't write for something ethereal. Write always for something concrete. The, most of my works are always written for different people who ask me, please, we want to sing one of your songs. We want to premiere one of your songs for this occasion, for this moment, uh, for the for this concrete point, and you write concretely for something. Sure that when you use this, other choirs can be seen, and it's fantastic if you can do something like this. In the first chapter, we will talk about the kaleidoscopic form of the music. It's really, really important today to write this kind of music. But remember, always not write something for us. Not something concrete, really, really concrete. It's really important for us.
Okay, so to conclude it, when we commission something to Josu Elberdin, we have to be really really clear about what we need, yeah. Really really clear about what we need, really really clear about what we have in the choir, what kind of piece we want, and then it will
Yes,
make your job easier. Yes.
Yes, because you can, and I wrote different pieces because I feel inspired and write a new piece. Yes, it's a good way, but for me, it's most important if you want that your music goes well with this choir. If you have more information about this choir, you can do a better job with your work.
Yeah. Okay. Josu, I think I have a question that maybe all composer have the same problem. Okay, so I think there will be a time then we give our music to the director, to the commissioner, and then they want to change something in your composition. What do you do?
Uh, Really, I have like I don't know if can say that are problems, but
Mm.
when you are commissioning and when you are working together,
Mhm.
you need at the final point, at the final moment, the choir need to be and feel good with your job, but you need to stay and feel good with your job too. And in some cases, I have different occasions like this. Today, when a conductor was to me and commissioned something, uh, sometimes can ask, if you don't think that can be better at this point, like this, like this, like this. If it's technical thing, I can explain about this. Usually we discuss. I think but always I say proof with your choir, prove this, and if it goes well with your choir, okay. If don't goes well, I can change this point. For me, I meet different colleagues that they are always changing the final song. When I wrote a music, when I put the date to 20,000, March, April, bam, 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 2 minutes. Okay, I finish with this process. I don't change never nothing in this score. Until this point, I can change things, but from the point that I signed the score, I don't change. I think that is really important if you want to work together. All the two parts need to be on sense good with this. But in some cases today, I say before, if you have the vision of composer, conductor, and singer, you have many information. If you are only conductor and if you don't have information about the composing process, about the singer process, you are losing something. And uh, I first was a singer. I then was a conductor and composer. I think that today have different ideas. And when one commissioner says to me, "Do you think that it can be good?" Yes, I'm sure. Today, today I'm sure. But you prove, and if you don't like this, I can change for you. In some cases, I have different options and different possibilities. But today, many years ago not, but today when I'm writing something, yes, that you ask for me and you commission it to me because you want my music. If I change all my music, it's not my music, will be your music, and you want my music. We need to be together with this process. It's important. It's important that they sense good, but it's important too that I sense good.
Yeah. Okay, I think still connected to this. Is there an instance when the commissioner interprets the music differently from what you originally think? Or for example, let's say your Cantate Domino, I think you made it for Brady, for the satellite for the vocal
Mhm.
artist. And I think we saw thousands and thousands of recording at YouTube about that song. And I think with different interpretations. What do you think about this?
Yes, the story of Cantatore Domino was a wonderful story because I think that it was 10 years ago. Brady comes with Saleh vocal artist as the first time as with this name because before they were the Utah University singers, and with his name they come to Tolosa to compete in the contest. And Segalariak, other work of mine, was compulsory work. and I stay in one rehearsal with Greg and the choir, and we loved from the first moment because it was incredible. This year they compete in the different categories and won all the categories, and it was in first days of November, and in the last days of December, Brady wrote to me, please, Josu, we will go to a World Choral Symposium to Argentina in 2011, and we want to have a new commission by you. And my first idea was, what? You are asking for me a new piece? And was well, I was very nervous for a different weeks. And last, and he asked me to have a rhythmic and enjoying thing for them, because the name of the symposium this year was the Circle of Life, and he wanted with this piece to have something smiling and to can enjoy. And I start brain bam 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 bam, and at the end says, why not can mix the languages? We meet here, they sing in Basque. I try to speak in English with them, and the Latin is one language that we can learn and can be together. And I wrote a new piece for them, Cantate Domino, and it's fantastic the vision of the world, because at the beginning it's so soft, and like Brady and Brady's choir is so sweet and so soft in English. Then it starts and the choruses, the verses in Basque, rhythmic and for car dance. And then the second part in Latin. And each of languages gives in the same musical story, gives different their languages styles and different moments of the music. Was an experiment, but I think that with 10 years before, the work goes well. It's really that the first experience of this song, Brady sings to rhythmic and fast, and in the score put something like soft rhythm. But I remember that in 2013 maybe was compulsory work in Tolosa again, and different choirs come. And I remember Michael Vedar's choir, St. Jacob's Nuns. They start singing and sing more not as rhythmic as Brady. And the first thing was, what are you doing? Because I was in my brain was the other version. But some friends, Javi Gusto, Xavi, and others, said, wow, it's a really fantastic version. And then at home, I were hearing again and say, wow, Michael learns again, and he offers different idea of Cantate Domino, and this version is incredible. What's the most good interpretation of this? Or when Philippines Madrigal singers, or when Batavia's, all of them are marvelous, because I say at the beginning of the talk, when you are writing in a paper, the idea is yours, but it's true that when you write in this paper and this paper goes to other choirs or to other places of the world, the people those hears or them this music. And Cantate Domino by Josu Elberdin, yes, by Josu Elberdin, but two by different choirs. This is fantastic moment. This is really fantastic.
Okay, and so we have a question from Nanda. We have a question from Nanda. I think it's still quite correlated to the previous question. So, when someone commissions a work from you, it must be because he seeks for something from your music. Something is different from your music. So, when we become a composer, how to create our music to be different, to have a trademark, to have a lasting mark?
I always when I start start composing a new piece, or for many times when I start playing the organ at mass, and when I start playing the piano, at the beginning I don't use scores. And I study for use this, and okay, you take me a score and I use. But some times I sit and play, only play, and different ideas appear. Uh, I think that when you are playing and you have and you study harmony and different possibilities, you can take the most good ideas for you, the most loved ideas, and give us if were your ideas. And slow, these ideas, if they stay with you and you use, can be your style or your trademark. I love uh, I love when I hear Morten Lauritsen's nines, and I love the nines, but I use in different kinds. I don't know when I start using these nines for cantate dominant for many music. This chord is good, but this nine is fantastic for me. But I don't use this nine in the border. I use mixed into a chord. When I start using this, I don't remember. But if you see my music in more of the times, you can see. I love when you can have in one score you are using 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 and 1 2 together, as in the last part of Cantate Domino. Ding dang dang, missing this part. I love this. When I start, I don't know. When I'm writing music, I don't use in some of the times something. Uh, I don't think, and I don't say now I'm using 1/6 Napolitan or one. No, I try to take the text, the feelings of the text, and I use that my brain works for me, and the ideas was creating only the. I say before too that when you are writing, when you have more practicing, the ideas are always with you, and you can change something because you have the control of this part. But how do you create this trademark? I don't know. If you ask to Javi Busto why he used the seventh in the chords and this part, because he loves this kind of music. If you ask to Eric Whittaker why he used these clusters, because he loves maybe. If you when you are hearing and you hear this, I'm sorry, it's Mozart. Yes, why? Because this kind of use of chords and is Mozart for us. Okay, what's the trademark? Something that is with your music, but you don't use always with the conscience to use this. It's here. I say for my students in the music school that I always write music, and then when I finish writing this music, can take and analyze. If you analyze this music, you can see different things. But I don't want to provocate this music when I'm writing. Today maybe, but many years ago not. Sure.
Okay, so we still have more questions actually, but let us put a little break here before we goes on with another question. And so, audiences, viewers, let us see another work of Josu, which is O Magnum Mysterium. It was sang also by the Saint Angela Choir I think last December when Josu came to Indonesia, and he conducts this piece himself. So let us enjoy O Magnum Mysterium. Okay, that was O Manu Mysterium by the magnificent Josu Elberdin. So maybe you can tell us a little bit before we go with to chapter 3. Can you tell us a little bit about that piece?
What's it? I don't understand this.
Sorry, can you tell us a little about that piece, O Manu Mysterium?
Yes, but yes, of course. This score was written for Las Veredas Choir, one choir of Madrid. The conductor, Quique, is very good friend and good friend from Basilio too. And the circle is closed with this. And they commissioned to me a one big piece about this carol. I love this carol. I think that this text is one of the most biggest texts in the liturgy, and we can have the more fantastic music renditions with this text. You can have Thomas Luis de Victoria in ancient music. You can get Lauritzen on Magnum Mysterium is fantastic. Javi Bustos on Magnum Mysterium for me is one of his really wonderful and most biggest works. And it was a really challenge for me in this case because this text is fantastic, and I try we take the idea of his big moment in the history and try to connect with the music. Why this the lines the melody lines are very long lines with a piano with the piano who moves every time, and for me the life is as a circle, and with this idea the beginning of the score and the last part of the score are just so similar with these octaves singing, but is each the same idea. Was a fantastic music. Not many choirs sing this piece. A few choirs sing this piece. I think that many people don't know about this, and was a really a big surprise for me when Ronnie and you says to me to conduct this piece, because I love, for me it's a wonderful piece. It's a big for a big choir. Not all the choirs can sing this, I think, but can do a good work, and was a big surprise for me. Good surprise.
Okay, so just a little bit of promotion. You can watch that video on our channel, St. Angela Choir YouTube channel. Okay, and so let us begin with the next chapter, Josu. So in the next chapter, I think Josu will explain to us about his basic concepts to work with new compositions, what to take into account in the composition for choral music, and I think Josu will show some of his finale files, yeah.
Yes, finally, yes, we can try with this. Yes, again saying, then nobody asked to me that how create your own trademark of your compositions. Taking this way, maybe. For me, the basic concepts to can write a good music for choral music. The first thing, and specifically with children's, with SATB, with mixed choirs, not as this, but with children's, is the height of voices. Is really important. Why I say this? Because here in Spain and in this in Basque Country, for many years, if the teachers can sing high, the singers don't sing never high, and all the scores was written in very loud notes, using very loud notes. But I think that if you speak with a 1, 6, 7, 8, 9 years old children, they always are speaking here so high, and if they speak high, your music needs to be in the part that they can sing well. Why this? I want to say C major is fantastic tonality. Yes, for singing, F major is good tonality. G major, A major is good tonality. For can write for children's. If you write tunes or melodies down F, D, Z, B, they can sing well. If you have in a really beginner choir, if you have a bad choir, yes, of course, you can use all the height of voices, but it's really important to know about this, where they speak, where they can sing well, and to take this is for me the most important idea. The second idea, or the value of the text, I say before, for me is really, really important. I never wrote a new piece if I don't have a text. A few months ago, one choir in the close province from here commissioned to me a new piece, and they say, "No, you write a music, and then the author of the text will write a text with your music." I say, "No, sorry, but not. I'm not constructing something instrumental. I'm writing for a choir, and if you want to take with text, please first the text. I will take this text. I use my help for use the ideas, the good ideas of the text, and I write for counting this." Javi Bustos says to me many years ago, "We never sing. We always count." It's really different for us. We are not singers. We are counters, because we count different stories and different things, and it is so important for us. If you want to write music for choir, for piano, good, it's different way. For choir, first the text, because the power of the text need be with you always, and the text have always accents in different syllables. If you don't learn about this, you can watch different scores around the world that they, oh, Paternoster is good text, because the liturgical texts are always good text. I take Paternoster, but I don't understand what want to say. I don't understand where is the accent, and I don't use this. Never will be a good music. When you hear Ave Verum Corpus from Mozart, it's so easy. Yes, but where are the accents put in this score? In the point. The point of the music and the point of the text need be together always, and this is really, really important. For me, it's fundamental. Other thing, sometimes when we are writing for 2 or 3 voices, we put a very fantastic melodies for first voice, for the sopranos, fantastic, and the second voice, the third voice, we don't use, we take the harmony, and I have I don't use F sharp. I take F sharp for second voice, because I need to complete the chord. It's not a good way. For me, are two ways to search, to show, and to write the music: horizontal mode and vertical mode. Vertical mode is when you take a choral music, one choral. It's fantastic, but many of the people is wonderful. Not. Maybe the first voice is fantastic, the second voice no. This is a vertical music. It's not the better way for us. The other part can be horizontal. You take one Johann Sebastian Bach fugue for organ and try to play. Oh, fantastic! It's really fantastic, but you can lose in different moments. When you take Brahms and Deutsches Requiem, it's really fantastic, but it's not easy to sing for everybody. I think that you need to complete or mix 2 ways. You need to use vertical modes, but always writing in horizontal. And in this way, the first voice will sing something good, but the second voice, the third voice will be sing something special for them. pim, pa, 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 ta, ra, ra, something most wonderful. And they are singers too, and they need to count. And for can count, they need to feel with good music. This is important. Other point that can be for can discuss the expression in the music. Today, most of choirs dance in the stage. Is good idea? Is bad idea? Maybe in oriental part for you is more easier to dance for us. Here in Europe, we sing like this. Most of the times, and when you see one choir who don't control her body well, it's better. Please continue singing, but don't move. I think for me, I don't know is that it's more important to dance or move, but the expression, I think that is really, really important. And you need to write music for can express different things. As a singer, if the music is happy, you need to sing with a one position. Is very serious. You need to sing as serious. Not always dance, not only smooth, not only be quiet and stop in this place. I think that you need like this. And with children, when you are writing music for children, the expression, not always the dance, but just the expression, is something really fundamental for them. Other thing, the use of different languages, and don't be always don't need to be always a real language. I have different stories for children, and one of them says mantusha, 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 lupa musha. What wants to say mantusha, lupa musha? It's a word. It's a words playing. It's not nothing concrete. Or if you say wahua ome sinte tu tumba la katasa como wahinga. What kind of language is this? I don't know. I write a new language for this song because for our children's, with young people, with older people is different, but with children's, if they can play with the music and with the words and with the text, it's really marvelous for them. And if you use mixing these things, the music always be more rich. In Cantate Domino, we say them. I mixed these three languages and was good experiment. The next time I try with other thing, but it's important for this. And other thing, the accompaniment is essential or not. And I say you before that we talk about the kaleidoscopic format. What I want to say with this? When I wrote Sleep My Little Sea, it's written for two voices, piano, and little descant, and different things. When I wrote music today, I'm thinking for a choir for two voices, three voices. But if you have a choir who only can sing to one voice, can sing Sleep My Little Sea, yes. When you are writing music, it's more difficult for you. But if you think about different possibilities, the really of choral music in some places today that in mixed choirs that we have a few men singing and more women singing. Yes, but you are writing for SATB. Yes, but if you write a good part of tenor, this part of tenor can be sung by alto too. And in this kind, you can sing for three mixed voices, soprano, alto, alto, and baritone, not tenor, nor bass. You need to write music today if it's not really concrete. If you are writing something a little bit open, it will be with big eyes. Some of my works can be with piano and a cappella, to one voice, to three voice. Children's stories. I wrote a choral and piano part, but I wrote an orchestral part. If you have orchestra, you can use this. But if you can't use because you don't have money or possibilities to give a orchestra, you don't sing this work. No, you can sing only with piano. It's important for us as composers that use this kaleidoscopic format of the music. I have 4 voices, I have 2 voices, I have 7 voices. Well, it's not easier for write, it's more difficult. But your music, from using this way, is opened for more choirs. And I think, I say before, but the most dream for me is that one choir sing one of your scores and songs.
Okay, thank you for the explanations, Josu. And so I think there's a question from. Wait a minute. There was a question from Awa Botak. Hi Josu, greetings here from Indonesia. So he wants to ask you about the song called Ubi Caritas. You made an Ubi Caritas. Yes.
Yes.
So, where do you get your inspiration for Ubi Caritas, for example? And because he found it very soothing, especially the vowels.
All of my works have a one story, because I say you before that I almost of the times use commissioned by Javi Busto is the responsible of this work. 5 years ago, I think, or 5 years ago, Javi stops as a medical because he was a medical and musician two ways. And different friends meet together and prepare and one homage concert from Javi. Javi takes his women choir and some men's, and we take a mixed choir for this concert. And Javi wrote something for us, and 4 composers, very good friends from Javi, wrote a new pieces. Xavi Sarasola wrote a mixed folklore profane music. Juncal Guerrero wrote a paternoster for male choir. Eva Ugalde wrote with Josu Lopez text one new work for a female choir with body percussion of men. It was incredible. And they say to me, you will write something religious and mix it for Javi. And okay. And I say, Javi, what do you want to write for you? And he don't say nothing. Javi, please, what you want to write for? And some months before, one day he says to me, I have a Ubicaritas, so difficult Ubicaritas, and I love Ola Jalos Ubicaritas. I don't want one Ubicaritas as Ola Jalos. I want a new Ubicaritas. Okay, thank you. And I started thinking about this. Was a big work because the choir that we meet to do this so much concert was a very good musicians choir, very good friends, and I have the possibility to write something big. And if you mind, if you remember in the score, is one concrete point that I doing a very great homage to Javi. In the text, one point, remember and search them, Deum Vivum. You try to search in different videos on different score and take this part, and if you have the score with you, you can see the Javi's harmony in this chord, Deum Vivum. Because for me, I say Javi is as a musician is very important, but as a friend and as a daddy, is really important for me. It's very important people. And I want, with this score, I want to gift 1% to Javi from he works and he helps to me always.
Okay, so that's the story behind Ubi Caritas. And now I think it's time to analyze some of your works.
Yes, one of kind of music that I wrote in some cases is not always for children and is not always religious music. I wrote many of that, but about folklore music I wrote in many times. And are two cases that I want to just see now. The first one was the song that opened the door to me in Indonesia, and was Soleram. Some of you, well, I think that all of you knows the song. Many years ago, I think 6 years ago, or Archipelago singers, they wrote to me to commission a new piece because they comes to Torrevieja Ballet concert and Cantoni Gros, and they commissioned to me to take a Indonesian folk very popular song, but they don't want to arrange using the Oriental mode. They don't want to I count this song from my ideas, from my vision. Was difficult for me, but was really fantastic experience. The first experience was from mixed choir, soprano, alto, TP, and then many years ago I need to wrote this, and I wrote for Sant'Angela for equal voices version, and I have for female and for male version. It was incredible for me because Soleram have a very fantastic tune, and sense to me that then before when I go, I was going to twice to Indonesia 5 years ago to Bali to the contest, and the last December with you to Bandung, and it's like a really dream. But when I meet Soleran, I meet one very peaceful smile, and when each time that I go to Indonesia, I see this in all of you. Very fantastic people, always happy. Can be problems, yes, but you are working to do the best always, and always with a very fantastic smile. And I think my idea with Soleran was this: use different colors, with use different connections, with clusters, with mixed, but for me was this idea, the peaceful moment for all of this. I want to take out this. I want to you see the score of the original score of Soleran, and then I want to give a little big surprise because I use this tune for other different moments. I screen. I use now the. You are saying now, not?
Yeah. Yes, we are seeing it.
And we see the original score from Soleran. Only see in these colors. I say you them that I love this kind of colors. The dissonances are always something fantastic for me. Can be trademark use. I put this score for you.
Okay, first of all, I should say that almost every Indonesian love this work, Josu. We love this work. So really, really great work with Solera.
It was my first experience searching and learning about Indonesian heart, and I loved it really from the moment that I saw this tune and this melody, and was really important for me because I want to watch this with you. 3 years ago, San Sebastian, our capital, was a European cultural capital for all the year. And I collaborated, I worked for different projects, and one of them was Kulunkan. Kulunkan is when you are taking a little baby and you are doing something like this because he wants to 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 sleep. And I take 14 songs over the world, 14 lullabies or playing songs with children, and wrote a new project. And all the children who I have here, see, all the children who was born this year in San Sebastian, in our capital, the government gave this book this book for them. And for Asian song, I take Soleram. I, I need to selection to select this song. You have possibility to see all the project in kulunkan.eu, www.kulunkan.eu with K. And in this case, you can see now only the score. I know that I say before you that the height of notes need be more higher. In the choral version, you see that we're more higher, but we don't this project for street parents, for all the parents, for dancing to the daughters, the sons, these things, and we have. In the project, we done one picture with Soleran project, one musicogram to can play with this, and then 3 recordings. One for solo voice and piano or harp, other one for only voice, and other one for only piano. And the people can download and enjoy with this. I want to put this version. I was playing the piano in this arrangement. It's more short than the other version, but I want to you see this I play.
Wow.
different kind of arrangement,
Yeah.
but I feel this with Soren, and all the children who was born in our city in this year have this song and different songs. Remember, if you want to search about the 14 songs, is www.kulunkan is here kulunkan.eu, and you can see the different songs. Some of them in Basque songs, in Spanish songs, African, and different styles. Was interesting. So I'm here.
Yeah. Very nice, very nice.
And the other little surprise that I want to share with you is a one song that I just finished writing for Sant'Angela from Ronnie and from Rio, just before stay at home with all this pandemic moments. On the first days of March, I was wrote this piece because the next August I was going to go to Sant'Angela's festival, but now it's impossible because the moment that we are living now is incredible bad. Hope we can improve and stay better. And just before these days, when we stay the last time in December in Bandung, they say to me they have a one tune fantastic melody, Ohina Nikeke, and I take this melody and wrote a special version for Sant'Angela, and hope you like and want to 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 you watch now this score to share with you now. Sorry,
Yeah, of course.
I put the play.
Yeah.
I think that better like this. That's the good part.
Okay, so first of all, Josu, when I first heard this from Ronnie, I think Ronnie showed me this piece after a practice. We had a practice, and then Ronnie said, Josu sent us this, and then heard into it, and wow, what a beautiful piece! What a beautiful piece! Beautiful arrangement. We love it, and we really hope to perform it with you as the conductor. It was supposed to be like that this August, but unfortunately we have to postpone the event because of the pandemic. And hopefully it can still go next year, but we don't know yet at this time. We also hope for each of us, for this pandemic to get better soon, so that we can make the music together again. But very, very beautiful music.
Was for me was you see different things in the sorry different feelings in the score. For me, the ideas that I try to put in the score, that the feelings that I sense when I stay with you. Remember that was a bad time for me because my wife's grandmother was died. Just before that, I take the plane to go to Bandung, and were bad days. But you helped me to sense very very well these days, and for me. Uh, I try to put in score the senses that I sense these days. A little bit analyze if you remember in the part of the finale lines, you not only see the first soprano singing the tune,
Yeah.
you can see the alto singing the tune in the middle of the second voice. singing together, and I tried with this with different tonalities using transposition for the piano, slow but with many colors every time with this score.
Yeah, I see. So that's how you make the O Inani Keke, yeah. Okay, so there is a question. Actually, there is a question. Uh, when you are forced to work with something, let's say Ronnie and I ask for you to create O Inani Keke, which is it's I think a foreign music for you.
Yeah.
It's not familiar to you. What do you do to research before you create the music?
And sometimes I try to search this song, and Soleram, as for example, I saw a different styles in da. In other cases, I see da 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 as a children's playing. Yes, but in some cases I try to search this song to know in the original mode how you use like this. But in other cases, the people who commission says, don't see what's the original, do your proper version, please. Different possibilities, but I with Inani Keke, and I asked for Ronnie, please send you to me word by word the translation. The accent of each word for me was really important, and he sent to me one recording, I remember, but I see only one time the recording of this song and not see more again. Is to know about this kind of music is important, but coming again for the last idea, if you have the translation each word, but word by word, not of the text, not the sense of the text, word by word, the sense of the text, at the accents, at the form to say each word, you can work with this doing a similar idea. In some cases, when the people says we want to do a folklorical arrangement with the folklore traditions using, okay, I study about this style, these uses, and these kinds of ideas and possibilities. But today we can have the two ways. You can get a folklore popular song, new rearrangement, or popular song using the popular harmony and the popular style. Two ways are good ways. We can discuss about this, but I think that is if this process is done with a conscient work, you can get a good work at last.
Okay, so just so because our time is running out, but
Yes.
we still have some questions. First, there was a question from Rani. Hi Josu, if you compose a song, both music and lyrics, which part you write first and why? I think it was answered with your previous explanation that you always work from the text, yeah?
Always from the text. Or you can have some cases I wrote the text and the music. Today I don't don't do in really few cases because I think that I can write not a normal music, but my music is better than my text. I prefer to take yes, but some cases in the past I wrote the music and the text together in the same moment. If you use this, can be. If you use first music and text, not, or first music or first text, sorry, or together. And please don't take the way to first music and then the text. When some of my songs are translated to different languages, you can say something similar, but always you you sing better the original. When you put Handel's Alleluia, it's not the same version in English that in German. When you take many of our songs you can translate. Most of my works are translated, yes, but when you are saying sleep, sleep, my little sea, or duerme, duerme, pequeño mar, it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. Good ways too, yes, but the better is the original music because you compose this music with this text.
Yeah, I agree. And then there's a question from Kadek. Hi Josu, who is your most who is the composer that influenced your music the most?
Who, sorry,
Sorry,
the composer?
which composer influences your music the most?
Influence most of all the music when is a good writer. Uh, in many years ago, when I was young, I loved all Mozart's music, always, always, and don't want to hear no more music. Now, I always say to my students too, if you have a good volume of music, you can hear all music. Brahms with choral music is really fantastic music. For cappella works, for organ and choir works, for orchestral works, it's really fantastic. But you take Javi Bustos music and it's fantastic, and you take Lauritsen music and Mendelssohn music. You can stay all today, all the moments hearing good music, and when this music is written with the heart and with senses, always is good music. The most influenced, I don't know. 1 month I stay only hearing symphonic music, the films music. I have a good friend, Fernando Velázquez, who wrote fantastic music today for films, for movies, and it's really fantastic. For choral music, we have, if you can search, you can try and get really fantastic music. We have more than 500 years from fantastic music. The most important, I don't know. The list will be infinite for me.
Okay, Josu, do you sometimes find that you are actually borrowing a bit of others' music into your music?
I don't understand. Sorry.
Okay. Do you find sometimes that you are taking the elements of other composers' music into your music?
Maybe because I think that when you are hearing something, oh, beautiful, I always say that the same thing. The all possible combinations of the music are invented many years ago, are made it. C major, C minor, C sharp, all the possibilities are made it. And you can't, it's impossible today to create a real new music. You can to be in your process, I don't know, to some, you can be original, but you can't write a new chords because all the chords possibles are invented. The ordered chords are not ordered chords. All the harmony is invented, and the silence is invented. The is invented. The way only for today, I think that it can be to be some bit original, not more. And for this way, when you hear Lauritsen music or Javi or Tucker or Ola Jelos, Eric Hessenbals, Xavi Sagasola, David Azurza, Eva Juncal, all their music is fantastic. And maybe in some cases you conscient or not conscient, you can use because all the combinations are made it.
I see. Yeah. Of course, of course. Okay, and then this is one last question from Clarissa. Hi Josu, what's the difference between composing a piece for children and mixed choir? What's the main difference for you?
Composing for children is more difficult to compose for mixed choir. Yes, because most of the people say, it's for children, it's easier. Not. It's always more difficult. because for children, when you are composing, you need the height of the music, of the voices are really important. But if you don't write a good music for children, they see the score, start singing, and go by, and they don't stay with you in the rehearsal. But if you write good music, good music, they say, what is this? I want to know more for this. Many years ago, when my daughter was really young, it was important for me when I was writing music. If this music was interesting music, they comes to me, Daddy, what is this? When I was composing not as good music, they continue playing around all the home. And it was a important and something really concrete. When you write music for mixed choir, uh, uh, you need to write difficult, easier, yes, but the other people can say, I like this, I don't like this, but I try to do. With children, never. Like or hate. Yes,
Yeah. Yeah, of course, of course.
I think.
Okay. So to close this session, we want to hear from you. How do you describe your music?
My music, I don't know.
Or maybe how do
I,
you describe
I,
yourself as a composer?
I try always, and my dream always was that try to take a picture of sense from something and try to share this idea with different people, with different people of places of the world. My dream was that one choirs never sings one of my songs in Tolosa. And 20 years ago, they sing for first time one of my words in Tolosa. Tolosa always have been something important for us. As a composer, I try always to sense and to say something. When the music is complicated, it's difficult, is because you are counting something difficult, something complicated. Uh, when you are saying something, John Rutter says count music very well. I love John Rutter's music because the text on John Rutter's music is always important. I try to take this text and sense something with this. Um, I really happy for can have these opportunities. I never mind that I can stay today with you. I never mind that I had the possibility to go to Bandung to work with you with my music. Never. It's like a dream for me. For me, it's a God's gift. Always.
Okay, so this is it for our session. Actually, it's a little bit more than 2 hours. Thank you for having. Really, thank you for being here, Josu. We're really
Yes,
thankful for having you
only
here.
want to say to thanks for you for inviting me to stay these 2 hours. I at the beginning I was really nervous because I think that my English is not as good, but I try to do this. But I want to send from here a really big hug, a really big hugs for to all the people, to all the audience, that connect with us. Please, I know that we are at home now, but sure that in few months the vacuum will stay with us, and we start singing again for everybody, for all the moments. If you are now at home, please sing. If you are tired, sing. If you are happy, always sing, because if you sing, the feels will be always with you. Remember, if you sing, you can be something better always. And really many thanks for this opportunity. Yes.
Okay, so that's it for today, viewers, for the first SACTalk. Thank you for joining our talk here. We are really thankful for your questions, for your other things in joining this talk show. We will have another talk show with other people too. So if you like this, please subscribe to our channel and then let's see if we can create more good contents together. So I'll stop the live stream here. Thank you, Josu, once again for being with us here. Kokoni, do you
Thank
have
you,
to say something
so yes, of course.
before I stop this live stream?
Okay. Thank you, Rio, for directing this Saint Angela Choir talk show, and to our dearest friend, Josu Elberdin. Words cannot express our gratitude uh, for your continual support, encouragement, knowledge, and of course, your wonderful and fantastic works of choral music. Um, yeah, I wrote a lot when you talk about your presentation. One thing, the most important thing about the composition or music is how music touch our heart and soul. Because music provides powers to bear any emotion. Music is not just a sound, it's an emotion in our heart. Yes, I hope this Saint Angela Choir talk brings musical learning and artistic growth to everyone who have listened to your presentation. And I'm so glad through the sharing of music, the breeze of understanding and learning from one another, especially tonight from our dear Josu, is built here in Saint Angela Choir Talk. Okay, dear everyone, thanks again for joining us. See you on the next Saint Angela Choir Talk show with another choir expert. Stay safe and healthy. Be well and thank you.
Okay, that is Fox. Goodbye all. I'll end the live stream now. Stay safe, stay healthy, and as Josu said, keep singing.